Councillor Meyer, are you present?
Yes, I'm online, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Councillor Buddha. Just so that you can know, there's some echoing in the room that you are. So if there's somebody that can just see to that, I will appreciate it. Thank you. Councillor Meyer, are you present?
Yes, Madam Speaker, thank you.
Thank you so much. Councillor Mbumbu, are you present?
Good morning, Speaker, and good morning, colleagues. Yes, Speaker, I'm present. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Councillor Mzwantile, are you present, Councillor?
Good morning, Speaker. Yes, I'm present.
Councillor Buddha, just a request again to you that your colleagues just turn down the volume a bit because all the speakers are on now and there's an echoing coming from the room that you are in. Councillor Kannemeyer, please put off your camera. Councillor Porter, are you present?
Morning, Speaker. Morning, Mayor, Deputy Mayor, and fellow colleagues. I am in the house.
Thank you so much. Other Lady Writers, are you present?
Morning, Speaker. Morning, colleagues. I'm present.
Thank you so much. Councillor Satusha, are you online? No indication there. Councillor Van Dijk, are you present?
Madam Speaker, good morning. Also, good morning to colleagues. I am present. Thank you.
Thank you so much, colleagues. We will then start at 9 o'clock.
Good morning, Madam Speaker. Good morning, colleagues.
Morning, Councillor van Leroux.
Good morning, Councillor Leroux. Thank you for confirming that you're present. Councillor Sibabalo, are you present? Councillor Buddha, can you just indicate if Councillor Sibabalo is present?
Good morning, I'm present, Madam Speaker.
Thank you so much.
Speaker.
Maya, you may proceed.
Thank you, Councillor Kannemeyer. The icon doesn't work on a computer, so she asked just to log out and back in again.
Thank you, Executive Mayor. We have about 1 minute, and I'm hoping that she will join. Thank you for that.
Good morning, Speaker.
Morning, Councillor Kamfer. I'm noting that you are present.
Thank you.
Speaker and everyone, I am present.
Morning, Councillor Satunsha. Thank you so much. Thank you very much, colleagues. Councillor Satunsha, can you please just lower your hand? It still shows that you've raised your hand. Colleagues, we are going to start with our meeting. It is 9 o'clock, and I'm at this point going to ask. On our agenda, we have the opening, and I'm going to ask Councillor Delamain to please lead us into prayer. Councillor Delamain, over to you.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, Mayor, council, and all listeners. May God give us wisdom, comfort, grace, protection, hope, and the finest blessings today over all of us. In these trying times, Psalm 23 always gives me that comfort that the Lord are with us. So I would like to pray Psalm 23 over us. If you all can bow your heads. Dear Lord, we praise you for being our shepherd. And because of your grace, we lack nothing. Lead us beside quiet waters and green pastures. We trust you each day. Refresh, revive, and restore our souls as you lead us along paths of righteousness. This is for your name's sake, that your name may be uplifted, honored, and glorified. Even during the times when we walk through the darkest valley, we will not fear. You, the good shepherd, are with us. You are the Lamb of God, and you conquered death and the grave once and for all. Your rod and staff gives us comfort. You lavishly provide us with a feast of abundance in the presence of our enemies. We are anointed with the oil of joy, and our cup overflows. As long as we live, your mercy and your goodness will follow us. We will dwell, reside, and abide in your presence forever and ever. To God be all the glory. Amen. Thank you, Madam Speaker. Have a blessed day all.
Amen. Thank you so much, Councillor Anton, for blessing us with Psalm 23. Councillors, as we start 2022, and this is our first council meeting, I would like to take this opportunity to welcome you back into office. I trust that you had a well-deserved rest during the festive times, that you had enough time to engage with your families and your loved ones, that you're well rested, that you are healthy. And I pray that as 2022 is unknown to all of us, that the Lord will guide us through this year. And every activity, every task at hand, in order for us to serve the residents of our beautiful town, I pray that we will do our job, our duties, and execute that what is expected of us with due diligence. Welcome back to all. Enjoy the council meeting, and may God bless you in 2022. I have not received any applications for leave of absence. Can I at this point ask the municipal manager, is there any indication from your side, of any official who perhaps tendered an apology,
Speaker, no, I think Mr. Jenkins is just busy with another commitment at this stage. So I'm sure he will come in later, but no, nothing from us.
Thank you, Then to all council members, the executive mayor, the executive deputy mayor, the municipal manager, all directors and staff online, the public, welcome to our special council meeting. I see the hand of Councillor Porter. Councillor Porter. Councillor Porter, do you have a question?
Yeah, thank you, Speaker. I've got two preliminary issues that I want to raise. Perhaps if that is will have your approval, and before you start with the business of the day.
So it's not items on the agenda, Councillor Porter.
No, it's in relation to the technicalities of this meeting, Speaker.
Okay, then proceed. You can proceed briefly if you want to raise questions.
Yeah, thank you, Chairperson. Speaker, the one issue that I want to raise, man, is the fact that, being very new, fairly new within council, but having the experience and also the privilege to be served with minutes, documented minutes of council. I think at this moment I find difficulty in having, only have sight over the one on the screen in terms of the agenda and not being able to have the minutes in writing with me to peruse and also follow as we proceed with the meeting. It might be a technical side from me, a sort of experience, because I don't know how to juggle between the screen in terms of the meeting as well as the minutes. So one would have expected that one, even for this round, the minutes that we haven't received should have still be a norm or a practice only to assist us through this one. Second point is this team meeting. I know this is a special.
Councillor Porter, if I can just respond to your first point briefly.
Okay.
Councillor Porter, so this is a special council meeting, so there is no minutes. So our first official meeting will only be in February. So what will happen in terms of the procedure of this meeting, the administration will on the screen, you will follow all the items, and they will also have the annexures. I can confirm that all documentation was sent to all councillors, and I understand it's a fairly new process, so some councillors might find difficulties. So I just want to confirm with you that all documentations, all the attachments has been sent. It was included in the link. But I note your concern, but I just want, for your ease of mind, please note that this is a special council meeting. There would be no minutes. Thank you, Councillor Porter. You can proceed to the second point.
Okay, the second one is also similarly related to the first one, and that is the fact that we are having this meeting on Teams. I just want to know whether this is going to be the norm, or is it perhaps only because of the fact that we have a special meeting that we're having it in this fashion.
Councillor Porter, thank you so much. There will be future council meetings depending on the COVID regulations and the lockdown levels moving forward. Some of the meetings we will definitely do virtually. And if needs be, we will gather in the council chambers. So I can't now tell you exactly which of our meetings. It will be communicated. There will be enough time to prepare accordingly when we send the communication of our respective council meetings. Councillor Porter, does that give you clarity? Can I proceed with the agenda, please?
Thank you very much, Speaker. You may proceed.
Thank you very much. Councillor Delamain, I see your hand. Do you also have a question with regards to the agenda? Councillor Delamain, I see your hand raised.
Speaker, apology. Councillor Kannemeyer just walked into my office, so she is present. Thank you.
We note that. Thank you so much. Councillor Porter and Councillor Delamain, will you kindly just lower your hands? Council members, we are then at the disclosure of interest in terms of Schedule 1 of the Code of Conduct for Councillors in terms of the Local Government Municipal Systems Act. Is there any councillor who at this point in time wish to disclose any interest related to our agenda? Can I get an indication? None so. Then we have the disclosure of benefits in terms of Schedule 2, Section 5, Code of Conduct for Officials. Municipal Manager, can I get an indication? Is there any such official that needs to disclose?
None, Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Municipal Manager. Then just before we get to the agenda, from my side, I would like to congratulate some of our councillors who have had the honor of celebrating their respective birthdays. And at this point, I would like to congratulate Councillor Leroux, who celebrated her birthday on the 16th of January, Councillor Meyer on the 17th of January, Alderman Bayman, Executive Deputy Mayor, on the 22nd of January. Then Councillor Baron on the 24th of January. And then Councillor Liebenberg on the 25th of January. To all those councillors, I would like to wish you many blessings. Congratulations. I wish you good health and Godspeed. And then a special congratulations to Councillor Debula, who became a parent, and his son was born named Lilutu, and we would like to also extend our congratulations to Councillor Debula. And we wish you all the best. I will now hand over to our Executive Mayor of the Mossel Bay Municipality, who would like to share some announcements before I get to the agenda of the day. Executive Mayor, over to you.
Thank you, Speaker. And from my side, also best wishes to the whole Council for 22. Looking forward to working together with everyone. And my wish is also from my side that we will put politics aside and that we will serve a common goal to better services in our town and to better the livelihoods of the inhabitants of our town. Then I also, secondly, Speaker, would like to thank the administration for the work that's been done throughout the holiday season while council were resting. I want to congratulate them for the work that's been done. There were no major hiccups or issues. And I also want to thank them for the daily services monitoring committees that took place. And then especially also Mr. Hubert Kutsia, who was the chairperson of that committee, and then obviously the municipal manager, and your whole team. Thank you for keeping the ship afloat. It was sailed properly and there was no major issues, and we had a successful season with a lot of compliments of how the town looks and so forth. So thank you very much for that. Then Mossel Bay Municipality has gratefully noted the Special Investigation Units, or the SIU or Hawks, report regarding their investigation into corruption with COVID-19 related expenditure, and welcomes President Cyril Ramaphosa's decision to release the contents of this report to the public. Hopefully, prosecution will soon be instituted against those pointed out in the findings of the SIU in the report. It is particularly gratifying that this investigation by the SIU could not find any evidence for the false allegations against the Mossel Bay Municipality. As a result, the SIU concluded the investigation without any findings. However, the allegations by a serving opposition councillor might cost the Mossel Bay taxpayer dearly. After the SIU investigation, the municipality received an account for the amount of more than 1,279 million rand. After other thing, the serving opposition councillor falsely claimed that irregularities with the procurement and distribution of food parcels and PPE had occurred. The SIU's report specifically stated that when the investigators questioned the complainant, which is identified in the report, to obtain further details, these allegations were ultimately limited to a vague, unsubstantiated allegation that the Mossel Bay Municipality misused the funds to buy votes by distributing the food parcels and PPE to politically selected preferred persons. A council item will be prepared on this matter, Speaker. As the Mayor of Mossel Bay, I urge residents to note the upcoming census and to ensure that everybody participates. Speaker, this is of utmost importance. The last census was done in 2011, and without updated statistics on population figures, sorry for that, it is difficult to properly plan and prepare projects. And it's also very important that a community understand that our equitable share is based on the size of the population of Mossel Bay. So that means if people are not being counted in Mossel Bay, we will not receive our fair share of funding, and that will obviously at the end of the day mean that if we want to keep the level of services, that we will have to pay more for that services because we will lose some income. Sorry, Speaker, ek het 'n padda aan die keel. So this year around, everybody can register online as well. And that will also be communicated through the media, but it's basically getcounted.statssa.gov.za. And then there's 3 different ways in which you can be counted online or electronically or digitally. So there's a computer-assisted personal interview, then there's a computer-assisted web interview, and then there's a computer-assisted telephonic interview. Residents are required to register to choose the preferred option to either complete the census questionnaire with or without the assistance of a census field worker. Then it's also important to note that the registration is data-free and there will be no charge on the registration platform. Speaker, then many of you will be aware of the Section 189 process that was started by Petro SA to dismiss between 800 and 850 employees. And currently we are trying to engage with the decision makers of the state-owned entity, but until now with no success. Due to the mismanagement of this entity for many years, the employees and people of Mossel Bay may now end up paying the price, since these dismissals will have a massive negative effect on Mossel Bay, and this is also unfortunately a very negative note to start 2022 with, and hopefully we can get in contact with the decision makers soon that we can see how we can address this grave concern. Lastly but not least, we are urging the community to join the online petition to stop Eskom from raising the electricity tariffs by 20.5%. The reality is that this is only the ears of the hippopotamus, unfortunately, Speaker. In the Daily Friend of 26 January, the reporter mentioned that Eskom is applying to NASA to rise for the amount of basically 44.5% in electricity charges over the next 3 years. It is asking for an increase of 20.5% in tariffs, plus a 5% retroactive rise this year. Then next year, it wants a 15% increase and a 5% rise in the 3rd year. That basically is 44.5%. This comes on top of the 180% rise in real terms in electricity prices over the past 15 years. Lastly, Speaker, I just want to like to inform the community that our municipal website will go live today. And I would really like to thank and congratulate Director Jantjies and the whole IT department in this regard. Thank you very much.
Honorable Executive Mayor, thank you so much for your communication shared. It's so well received. Executive Mayor, that is also much appreciated. I see 2 hands raised. Councillor Baron, Councillor Baron, Councillor Porter. I note your hands. Councillor Baron.
Thank you, Speaker. I just want to add, Speaker, on something that the Executive Mayor mentioned, and that is about the census. I think the census is a very important issue. Apart from the fact that that if our people are not going and let the census people write them as part of the community of Mossel Bay and even of South Africa, is it also important that the municipality assist with the marketing process of the census. We will remember in the past, the Aboriginal community of South Africa, we did not take part in the census processes in the past. But this time around, we are part of the census and even our names reflect on the forms. Our names in the past was either colored or we were the others. So from now on, we are not the others anymore. And that's why it is important that our people go and register, but we need the assistance of the municipality. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you, Councillor Porter. You're raising, my apologies, Councillor Baron. Thank you for raising a very important point. Municipal Manager, I believe that you are taking note. The municipality does have the relevant resources. And the Mayor just said now that our website will go live. So that's well received. Thank you, Councillor Baron. Councillor Porter, you may proceed.
Thank you, Speaker. Firstly, colleague Councillor Baron, it's good to know that our people are now going to be recognized as not other. But essentially, my input would be on what the Mayor has alluded to in respect of the Petro SA scenario. I just want to maybe sensitize all of us in council, the entire council, irrespective of parties. And this is perhaps where I want to agree that we put politics aside, even though politics is central to the issue. And this is when I heard, an interview over RSG this morning, and I think it was Solidarity or AfriForum that spoken on the issue. Seemingly, it's clear that, the ruling party nationally has this idea of moving Petro SA to what is this new name for Port Elizabeth, or the Eastern Cape rather. And the agenda around that, if it is true that the agenda of the government is to move Petro SA to another province because it is run by the DA, then, maybe one have to be very bold to say that, when this type of politics playing to the negative and adverse effects of society in general, then we have to take hands as politicians. We have to join forces, irrespective of what party we are representing. We've been elected councillors into this council by the people, and we should respond to this matter of Petro SA in particular as such. It is not right, neither fair, that one would move a parastatal employing so many workers for political reasons. And we must be very clear that if that allegation of the speaker on the radio this morning speaks the truth, then we cannot allow that such political ideas, is being orchestrated to marginalize colored and white people. And therefore, I want to respond to say, when we look at Petro SA, we must look at it as a society, but council must take the lead in it. Thank you very much, Speaker.
Thank you, Councillor Porter. The Executive Mayor will lead that process. Councillor Buddha, I see your hand. You may proceed.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I'm going to just allude to what the Mayor was said just now. It's just a sort of a clarity. The Mayor said that the taxpayers' money was just poor on the ground, because the people, they are just assuming that the municipality is have a corruption, while the ISIU investigate, they didn't find anything in terms of 3 avenues. Now he said the opposition, we feel offended, Madam Speaker, because we are here, we don't know, maybe outside somebody did to launch that investigation. We like to, the Mayor, if he can be specific in this regard, because you are offended. I'm here from a previous years. Now, if I write something, of my party write something pertaining the investigation, I'm supposed to know. Secondly, Mayor, my understanding in terms of our understanding in terms of the Petro SA, it come a long way. That's why when you speak here, you want people who speak about the facts and then they've got portfolio of evidence. You are not here to come to speak about the rumors and then the journalist say something, because our understanding about the Petro SA was bankrupt. They don't have money. And then the total was on negotiation, want to buy this thing. All of us in Mossel Bay, regardless of black, colored, and then white, we want Petro SA to be here. I don't understand when the people they say because colored and white, we undermine them. Because we know that all of us, we want the better is to be here so that all our people, they must receive the job. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you, Councillor Buddha. I will not take any questions now anymore with regard to the Mayor's communication, but I will allow for our Executive Mayor to now just respond to the matters raised. Mayor, over to you.
Speaker, thank you. Yeah, no, I didn't want to offend everybody. That's why I didn't mention any names, but it is not Councillor Buddha, I can mention that, or the ANC, but obviously it's an open document. So yeah, please, Councillor Buddha, I think we can maybe distribute it as well. And as I've mentioned, it will come to council and then we will debate this matter further. So yeah. Then, so it's exactly because I didn't want to offend anybody that I did not mention names, Councillor Buddha. And then the second point regarding Petro SA, the frustration, and that's why I mentioned it here this morning. We are really trying to engage with the decision makers and we can't get hold of them. We've asked on various, at various times if we can engage and that we be kept up to speed with what's happening in our own town. I think it's unfortunate that this council, and that's why I mentioned it this morning, that this council is kept in the dark. We don't know what's going on. We also only read in the media, and obviously this is our ratepayers, this is our community, it's our new community members, friends, family, and the impact will be felt by the people in our town. So that's why it's so important that we try and engage with the people who's actually taking these decisions, which will have a detrimental effect on us. And we unfortunately we do not receive any answers on the questions and so forth, and that's why I raised that concern and actually the frustration here this morning, but we will keep on trying.
Thank you so much, Executive Mayor. That concludes then the discussions around the communications of the Executive Mayor. We now move over to our agenda. Item E1A is the Finance Management Report on page 1 for December 2021. The MFMA Section 52 report. We have our recommendations on page 2, listed point 1 and 2. Can I ask for a proposal in this regard, please? I see the hand of Councillor Baron. Councillor Baron.
Speaker, thank you. Before I propose, I just want to say the MPAC or the Municipal Public Accounts Committee, we had a meeting on the 21st of January, which is last week Friday. And then we asked Director Orlando Fredericks to give us a presentation on both the 52 and the 72 reports. So we had a brief presentation from the director, and we interrogate both the two reports. Therefore, after all the parties present approve the report, so I gladly, out of this stance, I want to propose that the 52 report as tabled in council. So I want to propose the report. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you very much, Councillor Baron. Can I get a seconder, please? I see the hand of Councillor Furness.
Madam Speaker, I would like to second, but I would like to request that we make certain changes to the recommendation. Can I please read them in?
You might do so, Finance Chairperson.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. That the recommendation 1 would read as follows: that the council take cognizance and accept the finance management report for the quarter ending 31st December 2021 on the implementation of the budget and financial state of affairs of the municipality. Then point 2, that council take cognizance and accept the report on the quarterly amounts contained in the cost containment report. If I can request that we can accept, if I can request that we can second with that, and if the proposal would be all right with that. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Councillor Furness. Councillor Baron, are you comfortable with the amendments on the 2 points? Can you please indicate?
Yeah, now I'm comfortable. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you very much. We then have a proposer and a seconder. Is there any counter proposal to this item?
Speaker, my apologies. I haven't raised my hand. Councillor Gous.
Yes, Councillor Gous, you may proceed.
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, I would not have any objection to the change of the recommendation saying that we accept the reports, but by accept, are we saying that we accept it as a true representation? What is implied by accepting the reports? There's a very big difference between taking cognizance and accepting, and I'm sure that is why the changes has been made. Thank you, Speaker. If I could just get clarity on that, thank you.
Thank you so much. Can a municipal manager, yourself or the chief financial officer kindly respond? I see the hand of the MM, you may proceed.
Thank you, Speaker. I think it's a very important question for the knowledge of all councillors. This is one of the reports that after it was tabled to council and accepted needs to go to provincial and national treasury. I agree with the council that it's a very, very big difference between cognizance and accept. It is council's report. It was tabled. There was an oversight by the Municipal Public Accounts. It was interrogated. So we suggest, for Chairperson, it's the right thing to do for council to accept it and to not just only take cognizance.
Thank you very much, Councillor Gous. Does that give you the relevant clarity?
Speaker, it does. I understand it like that as well. Thank you to the through you. My concern is for the councillors that were not part of the impact committee meeting and did not interrogate the report, that are now being asked to accept the report.
Councillor Gous, the councillors did get the agenda. I called for counter proposals or any questions of clarity. It's now open. The item is serving. If there is any councillor who wish to raise anything at this point, they may do so. I see no indication from any councillor. You may proceed.
Speaker, no, I just want to echo what you said. Councillor Gous is correct. It was only the impact where the oversight role, but any councillor, as you've mentioned, received the report when the agenda was distributed. And if there are, as you rightly said, Chairperson, if there are any further questions for clarity or whatever the case, the councillors are free to speak here. It's only after that, and you've already asked for proposal and seconder, that council accept the report as per the recommendation by Councillor Mark. And after that, we will send it to the relevant department. So it's true, councillors that have the report under their eyes, and they got the right to ask questions if there are any other questions for clarity. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We have a proposer and a seconder to this item. For the second time, is there any counter proposal or any councillor who wishes to ask a question of clarity at this point? If there is none, then the item carries as unanimous. Thank you so much, colleagues. We are then at item E2, the tabling of our annual report. Thank you so much. We have our recommendation on page 8, listed point 1 to 3. Can I please ask for a proposer at this point? Is there any proposer to the item E2, the tabling of the 2021 annual report?
Madam Speaker, I propose that. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councillor Bavuma. Is there a seconder for the proposal of Councillor Bavuma? Any seconder, you may proceed.
Seconded, Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councillor Mvumbu. We then have a proposer and a seconder. Is there any counter proposal to this item or any questions of clarity? I see no hands, no indication. The item is then unanimously approved. Thank you so much. We now move to item E3 on page 9. We are at the 2021-2022 mid-year budget and performance assessment, MFMA section 72 report. Is there any proposer to this item at this point? I see the hand of Councillor Furness. You may proceed.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Yes, I would like to propose with one small change that the recommendation would read the council takes cognizance and accept the 2021-22 mid-year budget. If that is all right. Thank you, Madam Speaker. So I propose it like that.
Thank you so much. So we have a proposal with that amendment to recommendation point 1. Is there a seconder? Councillor Kutsia.
Madam Speaker, I would like to second the proposal, the item.
With the amendments.
With the amendments, correct, Madam Speaker.
Thank you so much, Councillor Kutsia. I see the hand of Councillor Baron. Councillor Baron, do you have a counter proposal or any question of clarity?
No, I'm covered, Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We then have a proposer and a seconder. Is there any counter proposal to this item? I see no indication. The item is then let me just quickly before I... Councillor Buddha, I note your hand. You may proceed.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, no, we are not objecting to this item. Madam Speaker, as the mayor this morning alluded that gone are those days where we fund each and everything, we take it as a politics. We like just in this item, when it comes the time of the budget and the IT for all of those things, really we notice that we must take the issues of the community very serious in all the 15 wards, We don't want to see now, we find that a stew budget will go left and right, and then other people, they are in a drought. As long as the mayor take a consideration of that, and the manager take consideration of that, we are going to be happy about this item. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Councillor Buddha. That item is then unanimous, councillors. We are at item E4. The long-term borrowing process. We have our recommendations listed as point 1.1.1 and 1.1.2. Can I please ask for a proposer? Councillor Furness.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Speaker. I would like to propose with certain changes to the recommendation. I'm just going to quickly read it in. It will read as follows, Madam Speaker. The council take note of A, the information in the information sheet regarding current long-term borrowings attached as Annexure C, and point B, that the prescribed process be followed before taking up the finance loan. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you for that, Councillor Furness. The seconder, Councillor Botha, I see your hand.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I will second as with the amendments by Councillor Furness.
Thank you so much. The item is then proposed and seconded. Is there any counter proposal or questions of clarity on item E4 from any councillor? If there's none, then the item is approved unanimously. Thank you so much, councillors. We then move to item E5 on our agenda. Item E5 is the Moss Jazz Festival, Camisa Solutions, the Baca/Santos Camp and Beach area for the period of 18 March 2022 to the 21st of March 2022, and this is the application from them. The recommendations are listed on page 23.1. Page 24 up until point 18. Is there a proposal in this regard? Councillor Kutsi, I see your hand.
Madam Speaker, as the ward councillor, I'm very excited about this item and I therefore propose this item to be approved.
Thank you so much. Is there a seconder? I see the hand of Councillor Baron.
Speaker, seeing that the new variant that they are planning is not out yet, I will second the item. Thank you.
Councillor Baron, thank you so much. Is there any counter proposal or any councillor at this point who wish to ask for clarity? I see the hand of Councillor Porter, and I also note the hand of Councillors Buddha and Councillor Gous. So the order will be Councillor Porter, Buddha, and Councillor Gous. Councillor Porter, you may proceed with your questions.
Thank you, Speaker. Mine is not a question, just maybe an input from our side. I think it is prudent to say at this juncture, you know, mindful of the fact that we've moved from strenuous times in as far as COVID and its restrictions brought upon us, that we should really welcome this program of Moss Jazz, in particularly to the arts industry. The arts community, you know, has been affected very badly, and as a tourist destination, read with the recommendations here, one cannot do otherwise than to support this program, and so also encourage even our local artists also to follow suit and exercise their rights, you know, and bring the arts and the culture programs forward in Mossel, and that will also assist in our tourist and also our economic mainstream and flow in Mossel. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councillor Porter. Your support is noted. Councillor Buddha, you second, and then after you, Councillor Gous. You may proceed, Councillor Buddha.
Right. Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, that is a set of clarity. Firstly, we want just to be clear about this gentleman. This Moss Jazz Camisa is locally or is coming from outside. That is the one. The secondly, we see there when you go to the purpose and background to the recommendation, this event is not going to pay anything like water or pay services whatsoever. It's going to go free of charge. Is that maybe this municipality benefit anything about this Moss Jazz, taking into consideration about the tourism, people who are going to come and visit here? Are we benefiting something about this Moss Jazz if he is not going to pay anything? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Municipal Manager, can I please ask you to respond to Councillor Buddha's question?
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, yes, to answer Councillor Buddha, it's not the first time that this item served before Council. I think it will be the third Moss Jazz Festival. And you will remember when we took the decision the first time, Chairperson, the Council said it will be in the interest of our economy. It will be the interest of our town for these people to come and host this Jazz Festival. I can just maybe mention that the report I received from the previous two were that more than 10,000 people attended the festival over the 4-day period. And a huge percentage of that 10,000 people were from outside of Mossel Bay. So Council took the decision in light of the fact, and as previous councillors mentioned, Councillor Porter mentioned, in light of the fact of the benefit that it can bring to our town, especially in these trying times. I want to thank Councillor Gous. She sent a letter to the CFO and the portfolio chair asking similar types of questions. So, Madam Speaker, I can't tell you the the council contributes 100,000 or 10,000. But the contribution we make is definitely a drop in the bucket compared to the economic input they bring to the town. And so it's not the first time. I think there's the third or the fourth festival that came. We didn't close it last year because of lockdown. Yeah.
Thank you, MM, for that clarity. Correctly, so it is the third time. Councillor Gous, you may proceed with your questions.
Thank you so much, Speaker. Firstly, may I just offer a correction, tongue-in-cheek, to the MM. The questions I raised were not the same as those as Councillor Buddha. I just wanted clarity on the exact financial implication to our ratepayers regarding costs. The ACDP does not and has not in the past objected to assisting the organisers of the Moss Jazz Festival, because unlike this item and that of the Ironman, we won't be directly sponsoring with hard cash. This is only in the form of assistance, and that was what my questions to the CFO were about. That because under the financial implications on the item in the agenda, it states only that it will be a financial injection to tourism of our town, which is great and obviously welcomed by the ACDP. However, my proposal is that under financial implications, it should list the financial implications pertinent to the Mossel Bay Municipality, which regards the costs. And that was my question of clarity, which the CFO has sufficiently answered. I'd like to thank him through you, Speaker. I would just like to clarify one of his answers, and that was the fact that the traffic officers and the firefighters that would be availing themselves during that time, he mentioned were just the normal shift. And I just want to understand, does that mean that no one additional is going to be added to work at the festival, but that they will be doing normal duties and include the festival in that duty, if you understand what I'm asking? Thank you for your patience, Speaker.
Thank you, Councillor Gous. MM, you may proceed to answer.
Yes, Speaker, thank you. Councillor Gous, now we can confirm that we don't do service on the premises. Camisa is taking care of that, so our traffic enforcement will basically be at the entrance to the parking area. We don't go further than that. They're just watching the traffic outside in George Road. So it's 100% correct. Camisa takes care of what happens on the site that for the duration of the festival. Yeah. Thank you, Chair, Speaker.
Thank you, Municipal Manager, for responding to all the questions. Is there any other concerns or any questions of clarity? I see no indication.
My apologies, I did try to raise my hand. Not to belabor a point, I'm just trying to, the question I'm asking, because there wasn't a monetary value attached to the shift of the traffic officers, for example. I'm not objecting. I just want clarity for the sake of the item that in the future that there be a real cost noted on the item so that we can make an informed decision, because currently we don't really have any idea of what the actual cost to residents is going to be in the form of all these services that we will, although we're not on the premises, we will be working at the gates and so on. So if we can just in future have that cost, I have asked in the past, but I'd like to just remind the administration that it would be helpful that we have that cost on the agenda when it appears. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Councillor Gous. The item is then approved unanimously. We move to item E6 on the agenda. Item E6, page 28, the sale of items on the annual auction for the year 2021 to 2022. We have our recommendations listed point 1 to 4. Can I get a proposal, please?
Good. Madam Speaker, I would like to please propose with the following changes.
You may proceed.
Raise my hand a bit late. Mic was open before I raised my hand. Anyway, okay, here we go. That we add the following in recommendation 2 and recommendation 3, that at the end it will read with the approval of the municipal manager for recommendation 2 and the same for recommendation 3. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you for that amendment. Is there a seconder to that? Councillor Parker, I see your hand.
Madam Speaker, I will second.
With the amendments, is that correct, Councillor Parker?
Sorry, that is correct, Madam Speaker.
Thank you so much, Councillor Parker. We then have a proposer and a seconder. Is there any objections, any counter proposal, any questions of clarity with regards to our annual auction item? I see no hands. Then this item carries unanimously. Thank you so much, councillors. We are then at our last item on the agenda. On page 80, item E7, the Western Cape Health Facility nominations to the clinic committees. We have our recommendations. Can I please ask for a proposer in this regard? Elder Lady Reiters, you may proceed.
Madam Speaker, thank you very much. I firstly want to make a correction at the hospital board. If we can just add Councillor Lodewijk Coetzee to the hospital board in the place of Alderman Deputy Mayor Bayman.
Thank you. It's noted.
And then at the conclusion, I want to add that the executive mayor, after conclusion with the mayoral committee, recommended that the ward councillors in which the health facilities located be nominated. And then the recommendations, I want to add that Councillor Annetjie Jansen van Vieren be nominated to serve on the District Health Council.
Thank you, Councillor Reiters. Just in terms of that conclusion amendment there, you're saying that the executive mayor, after consultation, recommend that after consultation with the mayoral committee, recommend that the ward councillors. Yes, okay. Now I just wanted the correct wording there. Thank you so much. So that's amended. And then we have Councillor Annie Jansen van Rensburg recommended districts. Good. We have those amendments then to the item. Is it seconder?
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
For the corrections, Councillor Kannemeyer.
Thank you very much, Councillor Kannemeyer, for seconding that. Is there any counter proposal or questions for clarity? Councillor Buddha, I know that you may proceed. Councillor Buddha, you may proceed. Councillor Buddha, you're raising your hand. You may proceed. Councillor Buddha, one last chance. I see your hand raised. Do you have a question of clarity on this item, Councillor Buddha? Then you may proceed.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Sorry, because it's cutting and cutting. Madam Speaker, then the first question is that we want just to know how to establish the Ed Health Forum and Mossel by Health Forum, that is one. Lastly, Madam Speaker, since you see the demarcation in Asla Park and then Ward 3 and Ward 1 and Ward 15, they are close to each other. Then we want just to add, we are not against those additions there. We want just to add Zwandile and Kondo as a part of the, what do you call that clinic on that side? Asla Clinic. To be 3. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you. The Executive Mayor. Mayor, can you respond? There's a request from the ANC that at the Asla Clinic, a third representative be added. Mayor and the proposer, can you please just indicate to this point?
Speaker, Madam Speaker, no, I won't have a problem with that from my side.
Thank you. Elder Lady Writers, you as the proposer, you comfortable that we carry that request in?
Yes, thank you, Madam Speaker. Yes, I'm comfortable that we can add the additional member of the ANC.
Thank you. Councillor Kannemeyer, you second with that amendment. Are you comfortable?
Yes, I'm comfortable, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much. If there are no any other questions of clarity or input, I don't see any indication from any councillor. That brings us to the end of our council meeting. And I would like to thank the full council for your participation, to our administration and technical team. Thank you so much for all your assistance. To the legal department, Mr. Prince and his team who is sitting next to me, I would also like to thank you. And your directors, thank you so much. I wish that you have a blessed day and enjoy the rest of the week. God bless. Bye.
Thank you, Speaker. Bye-bye all.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Bye.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Speaker. Thank you, colleagues. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Speaker. Bye. Bye, everybody. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you all. Bye.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. See you later.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Later.
Have a nice day.
Enjoy the rest of the day, all of you.
Intumira com garoto, mano. Vai paisar, Matheus.
Como comrade?
Albo, sumambela. Albo.
Oh, volume kalo.
Ubani.
Nyeta.
Oh.
Jonge volume comrade.
Ivalile ba.